In order again, or as order as we get, I'm Greg Phelps. This is John Burton. John's been kind of carrying the load at Southeastern along with Evan Wagner, who does a fantastic job on camera, folks. A phenomenal job. Got to compliment him on that. I know he can't hear me, but want to make sure if he listens to this later he hears that. We're just about ready to get this underway. And we'll make things official here with the playing of our national anthem this evening.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Every day, we walk through these doors, not knowing what waits. It's not easy, but we do it every day because our mission is you. Providing you compassionate care and providing you the best possible patient experience. McDonough District Hospital.
And making things official here, we'll get the starting lineups coming up here in just a moment. As the Central-Southeastern Panthers, and doggone me, I keep wanting to say Southeastern, old habits die hard, folks, in the blue and black home white uniforms, as the Cyclones in the road black uniforms. And their lineup tonight, pretty much the same one we've seen all season long, John. It'll be Maddie Hood, Grace Vanonic, joined by Madeline Sullivan, Lauren Powell as well, and Lindsey Dunn out there on the floor for the West Prairie Cyclones. Grant Bland, the coach, and just about ready to make things official with the Central-Southeastern Lady Panthers here. Matt Long, longtime head coach, coming in tonight at 24-3, John. A pretty doggone good team.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this team throughout the season. A lot of great basketball players on this girls team. As you mentioned, 24-3. Hard to find a better record than that in this area.
And that's, although they will be matching up with two heavyweights. From what Matt Long told me in their regionals, the 20s could be the 27-0 Port Blue Jays, I believe it is, or Quincy Notre Dame. So kind of a pick your poison situation there, as both those teams exceptional here. And we'll see where West Prairie gets headed to. I need to take a look at that. As where they'll be heading in the postseason. And I did want to kind of send a shout out the 5th and 6th grade playing up at the South Elementary tonight. And I believe West Prairie did come away with the win there. Maddie Hood will be jumping it up here. And the problem of long hair, it'll actually be Lauren Miller tipping it up, and it'll be Central-Southeastern basketball. Miller holding it out there on the far side, looks across, gives it over as she works it outside. And I'm going through there. That would be Brylan Lance. Waiting, holding, back to Miller. Miller holding, bounce back. Lance, three on the way, is good. Kaboom. And they will lock on pressure here. That is one thing they do a lot of. Lauren Powell breaking it up the side, and kind of that weird, I'd call it amoeba-like 1-2-2. As Madeline Sullivan puts it on the floor. Tip is stolen away there by Lance. Quickly up to Miller. Scoots her way in, up and in and good, and it's a quick 5-0. 43 seconds in. Back will come Lauren Powell. Looks up at Maddie Hood in the near corner. Jumped at by Abby McMillan. Pass knocked away. And then finally recovered down on the outside by Fessler. Tori Fessler off to Lance, and here they will come up to Miller. Miller sends it across to McMillan, spots the step back three, a little short, and the rebound tipped. Bononik will scoop it into Maddie Hood. Off to Bononik, and she'll bring it up. Also out there on the floor for Central-Southeastern, Parker Krim. Madeline Sullivan out top with it, looks, waits, holds, down to Powell. Powell a couple of dribbles, fakes, trapped in the near corner, needs to get rid of it. Bounces out, and Miller's going to steal it away. Miller on the run, Bononik and Hood giving chase. In the lane to Lance, yes, and it counts. And so, John, you're seeing what that pressure is doing. It just speeds your motor up so quickly.
Yeah, Panthers definitely out on the prowl, I guess you could say. A lot of turnovers forced from the Cyclones and converting at the other end.
And Lance makes the one and only.
So not quite sure.
Well, they stopped. I think they thought it was a two-shot, but actually the bucket was good. So it was just the and one. Now Powell dribbles with it, has her pocket picked by Lance. Lance in the lane, goes up, and Powell going to give the hard foul. Kind of the, hey, I'm still here foul. Now we'll put Lance back up the line where she is a perfect 1 of 1. 8-0 at Burster. Now, interestingly enough, Matt Long pulling all his girls back from the free throw line. First one, a little hard off the rim, no good.
Yeah, and we saw the Panthers do that a little bit in the JV contest. Of course, that one was a little bit different game to this one. But, yeah, all four players, other than the free throw shooter, back into the backcourt for Central-Southeastern.
9-0 spot up here as the 3 field goals by Central-Southeastern. So we tick down to 6 minutes and counting in the first quarter to Hood. Hood in the near baseline. Now, this is the hard part when you've got to be patient, as I know Krim chasing her down, and Hood going to draw the foul on McMillan. That's the hard part, John, when you have to be the most patient, is when they're coming at you, they're in your face. That's when you have to slow your motor down and just run your offense.
Yeah, because the defense of the Panthers, I mean, their game plan is to speed you up and make you play at a pace you're not comfortable with. And that's just one of those things. You got to be able to slow it down, take your time, and get into the flow of offense.
Maddie Hood makes the first. Second one on the way, up and good. Krim going to bring it into Lance. Lance pushes the throttle up into the front court, brings it on the outside. Miller bounces back down to Lance. Lance jumped at by Powell. Up top, works it out there for Fessler. Now working to McMillan. Back to Lance on the far side wing, down to the corner to Miller. Miller going to drive the baseline. 15-footer open, no good. Rebound pulled down by Krim. She'll bounce it across over to Miller. Miller short again. Rebound tipped around. Maddie Hood able to corral it. Off to Bononik, and here come the Cyclones. Cyclones up to Sullivan. Sullivan bounces down. Their pass tipped away. McMillan with it. Out to Krim. And Parker Krim gets it off to Lance. Lance slows her down there. And goes back to work. Out to McMillan. Down for Miller. Actually, Krim, rather. Out to Miller. A bounce up quickly to Lance. We work under 5 minutes left to go here. They work to the near side. Coming down. Cross-court pass to the far side baseline. McMillan, 3, no good. And the rebound fought for. Kicked back out to Krim. On the way is Lance. No good. And Powell is down with it. Lauren Powell works it on the way, fires it up and past Maddie Hood and out of bounds. It'll turn it back over to Central-Southeastern. Don't forget about JoJo's Gaming Parlor, offering the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Check out the TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Events, live on a big screen. JoJo's, 776 North Cole Street, Bushnell. 9-2 lead here as the Panthers work it around. Lance over to Miller. Looking, now gets it to Krim on what they call the soft post. The bounce down to Fessler. Her shot bounces home and in. The home rims. And now back, dribbling on the way is Powell. Powell this time coming over the far side of the timeline. Switched, Lance nearly poked it. Now heads into lane and has it almost poked away again. Goes up. Shot is no good. And Fessler pulls down the rebound. Lance on the way up to Miller. Miller looking to the far side. Nope. Pulls the near side. Jay. No good. And the rebound. And McMillan says, got your back, partner. Puts it up and in for a 13-2 lead.
This Panthers team, just a lot of size, definitely using it to their advantage, crashing the offensive glass. So many tall girls on this team compared to West Prairie, a very evident height advantage.
Well, and you can watch, they know West Prairie's MO because you notice they are really working hard chasing Lauren and Grace off of the three-point line as Powell able to get the leaner to go. You and I have said a million times over, there's sometimes, I don't know how she makes them, but she does. Pretty consistent about it. As Lance down to Fessler, near side baseline, pass up to Miller. Lobs down low, and Lindsey Dunn takes it away. Dunn wheels it out of there over to Powell. Powell with a 13-4 deficit to Sullivan. Nice cross court to Grace Vanonic. Shot a little long. Fessler's down with the board. Off in the hands of Lance. Quickly up to McMillan in the lane. Shot no good. Rebound. Powell and Krim tied it up. It'll be off of Krim and out of bounds to the Cyclones. And really, it's been the Cyclones have had their moments. They've had several open looks. They just got to, again, slow that nervousness down and knock those home.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a couple of nice looks for the Cyclones. We saw in that last possession the nice cross-court pass over to Vidonic in the corner for the open three. Just a little bit long on that one, but just got to be able to slow things down if you're the Cyclones. And for the Panthers, just keep doing what you're doing on the offensive end. They are really slowing it down, working the ball around, waiting for their shots and being able to get inside at will.
Carly Peters checks in, and the scary thing about this Panthers team, just two seniors. As Lance gathers it on the sideline, lobs it up, Carly Peters into the game, into the scorebook, and puts it home for a 15-4 lead for Central-Southeastern. Powell down to the near sideline, fakes, bounces it up, and right there Peters is a thanks for the gumball Mickey. Throws it up the court, and Miller had to get it away from Sullivan. Drives in, kick out to Lance. Lance free throw line extended jumper, no good. To the baseline, and Peters tries to slap it in bounds. It'll turn it over. Panthers, McMillan right back up and in. Lance goes out. Also coming in is Ariel Graham. And if she shoots, you know what I'm going to say. It's an aerial shot. Those are the things I think about. Powell losing the handle on it for Peters. Dunn trying to corral it to Fessler. Fessler puts it on the floor, and as she was waiting for Graham to come to the basket, but Graham kind of stood out there in the corner, the pass thrown away. It was a nice thought, and Graham had the wide open look, but just didn't make the cut. Powell will bring it up here, 15-4 lead, minute 50. Clock rolls in the first quarter. Near side they work it. Sullivan in the lane, puts up shot and gets it. Nice drive by Madeline Sullivan.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Throughout the season, Madeline Sullivan has gotten so much better at being aggressive, getting into the middle of the paint and getting kind of those floater shots around the rim to go. Saw it there, and the Cyclones cut the lead down to under double digits.
Fessler shoots no good. I missed that Janie Phelps also checked into the game as Ariel Graham brings it out to Fessler over for Carly Peters for McMillan. Back up top to Peters. Couple of bounces. Gives it over to Fessler. Fessler down for Graham. Peters to Fessler. Down to Krim, out to McMillan. Love the passing work back and forth. Getting this zone, moving to the sides. Out for Graham, holds it above her head. Powell jumping at her and kind of bump blocked indoor fouled her. Lindsey Dunn will check back in just a moment. And she will replace Maddie Hood. Lauren Bell will also check in here. And Bell will replace Lauren Powell. 59 seconds left to go, 15-6. Inbounds comes as they wheel around the near side screens up to McMillan, top of the key. Near side, they work it down to Krim. Krim trying to bump Phelps off and lost the handle on it. Lauren Bell recovers, and here comes Madeline Sullivan on the way. Dribbles down. They're going to go. Got to get her dribble underneath her. Threw it away. Lance pulls it out of there. And brings the throttle back the other way, up quickly to Graham. The aerial shot on the way, and I've been waiting for that since she came in the game, John. One of those things you always you see from time to time. Miller back in, Krim goes out. And so far the Panthers have been the Krim of the crop. As the inbounds into Lance, 3 on the way, no good.
I was waiting for that one to come along.
See, you got to learn, young man. You got to learn. Always looking for those. Sullivan up quickly the far side. And we've got a reach-in foul as Peters coming over the top on that one. As I say this, the frightening thing about this Panthers team is Fessler and McMillan are the only 2 seniors. Lots of sophomores, lots of juniors and sophomores play. Pretty frightening proposition for people in this area. Lauren Bell dribbles far side up to Sullivan. Sullivan out to Phelps. Quickly to Vanonic. Vanonic driving baseline. Puts up shot. Won't get it to go. The rebound, McMillan had it. Off in the hands of Graham. Graham up the near side. She has Miller open. Drives and the long step, no good. 15-6 at the end of 1 quarter of play. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
And welcome back here to Southeastern High School. Just want to give a quick shout out to a couple people in the chat. Deanne Miller saying, "Let's go CSE. Thanks for streaming the game, and thank you to the sponsors. Love to see the love for all of our sponsors out there." Says, watching from Florida. Looking forward to watching their granddaughter, Lauren Miller, Ken and Deanne Miller. We appreciate you giving us a watch, giving us a listen. And back at it again, Pastor Tom Spain in Plymouth saying, "Let's go Lady Panthers. Thanks for the broadcast." Thank you, Tom, for watching basically all of the Southeastern sports that I've done here. You've always left a comment. It's always nice to have you alongside with us.
Good to hear from you, Pastor Tom. I know he was one of our loyal listeners back in the days doing Southeastern on WCAZ radio. Back in those days when I was a lot skinnier, had a lot more hair, and was a lot younger, had a lot more energy. Sullivan going to trigger it inbounds. Tried to get it to Hood, taken away by Fessler and Miller. We'll get lineups for you in just a second. Lance out to McMillan, down on the corner. Peters toes the 3, long, and the rebound pulled down by Miller. Miller's shot no good. Rebound snapped up by Lindsey Dunn. Off to Powell. Lauren Powell near side as it knocked off her leg and out of bounds. It is Lauren Powell, Lindsey Dunn, Madeline Sullivan, Maddie Hood, and Janie Phelps on the floor for West Prairie. It is Brylan, Lance, Tori Fessler, Carly Peters, also joined out there by Lauren Miller and Abby McMillan. Down to Fessler, baseline J, no good. Rebound, Miller had it. Jumped up by a horde of Cyclones, or a storm front of Cyclones. I think I'm going to trademark that too. The collective noun for Cyclones. A storm front of Cyclones. Into Fessler, far baseline, up top for Lance. As Lance gives a bounce, gives to Peters on the pass. Looks in the lane at Miller. Nope. Now into her from Lance on the top side. Kick out to McMillan, far side 3. Rolls out. Scrum for the rebound, and is Maddie Hood pulling it out of there to Phelps. Off to Sullivan. And yep, if you guessed it, she's my daughter. Out to Dunn. Dunn driving in the lane. Spin move. Out to Powell. She'll toe 3. 15-9. The Cyclones cut it to 6. Quickly up to Miller. Miller in the lane. And I believe it is my aforementioned daughter. Maybe not. I believe it is Madeline Sullivan. Grace Vanonic in. Phelps goes out. And she loves me for the instruction that I give during the broadcast, and I say that sarcastically. Lance 3 off the inbounds, no good. Rebound, volleyballed out of bounds. Surprise, surprise from these two schools. And it'll be Central-Southeastern bringing it in. Miller waits, holds, looks. Into Peters. Peters up to Lance. Lance thought it, gives it to Fessler, and now out to Peters. a couple of bounces. Lance thought the three, pulled it down. And they'll work here, a 15-9 lead, 6.5 and rolling. Second quarter of play. Out to Lance. Lance partially tipped. Miller gathered it in, bounces it to Lance, over to McMillan. Down the far side to Fessler in what they call the soft post. Into Miller. Miller kick out, and Peters on the way with the three. Boom.
And that's just great ball movement by the Panthers, getting the zone moving every which direction. And a nice kick-out pass after the power dribble from Miller results in the wide-open three.
Cyclone, the fadeaway three from Powell. And into Dunn. Dunn trying to plow her way in there. Couldn't. Hood grabs it. Bounces back to Dunn. Over to Sullivan. Sullivan a couple of dribbles. And Hood, that one going to be stolen away. And Miller and Hood with a collision. Resetting the cranial synapses, or getting run into, was Miller. Now Brylan Lance works it up here, comes on the near side to the pass to Peters. Watches Fessler wheel through over to Lance. Lance holds in a bounce. In the lane to Miller, kick out to McMillan, up to Lance. And Lance driving down, finds a lane in there, gets a foul on Hood. And Phelps will have to come right back in. That's the second on Hood in the early goings of this second quarter. Free throw by Lance, no good. This is a notoriously hard place to shoot free throws, I always found as a player and watching a lot of games here, especially at that end. For whatever reason, the background always has seemed like a tough place to shoot free throws. And as I say that, she makes it. Matt Long will take a timeout. He'll discuss things. 19-9, the lead out to 10 for Central-Southeastern. Let's take this timeout on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. And we're back here. Sullivan working out top there. Powell bounced down to Dunn. Dunn, yes! And it counts. And folks, can you tell Coach Matt Long's not happy? You probably heard him through my headset. Was not happy with the defense there. Peters will go out. Subbing in is Claire Houston. And Dunn misses the free throw, but got the two, so cuts it down to single digits. It is a 19-11 lead. Claire Houston across the timeline out to Miller. Bouncing down for Krim. Krim, as Phelps gives her pressure, bounces up to Houston. Now to Fessler. Fessler a bounce. The McMillan passes down for Miller. Back to Miller. Stolen away by Dunn. And now Sullivan out there with it to Venonic. As we work a shade under 5 minutes in this second quarter, Sullivan spinning around, picked up her dribble, throws a dangerous pass, but Dunn gets it to Venonic. Comes out of there, and that one thrown away. They throw it cross court. Powell with it now. She'll pump the three. It is no good. The rebound tipped around. Powell, able to chase it down, and that is a backcourt violation. She got control on this side, went across thinking she didn't have control, and a violation.
And West Prairie really doing a nice job sticking here with the Panthers. Again, Coach Matt Long, a lot of things that you can't be happy about on the Panthers side. But West Prairie doing a nice job taking advantage of those things.
McMillan with it, holds, waits, cross courts, and Miller wasn't where she thought she was. Brylan Lance up and off the bench, right back in again as McMillan will come out. Sullivan brings it in. Full court pressure put on here by Central-Southeastern, and timeout called by Grant Blend. We'll Stay here thanks to some of our very fine sponsors like the Barkley Bills Company, a hat brand built on two staples, comfort and style, specializing in snapback trucker-style caps. Check out the selection or consider customs to build your business at barkleybillsco.com. Don't let the hat rack fool you. There's always room for one more. barkleybillsco.com. Wishing good luck to all area athletes this season. M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture store, mainstay in the community, offers free delivery within 40 miles. See them at 41 West Main Street, Bushnell, or find them Facebook, Instagram, and the web. Thank you, Aaron Bennell, for saying, please get Greg Phelps a popcorn. I'm telling you, Southeastern has the best popcorn in the area. Don't send me hate mail, but because it's true. You know how many bags I've eaten down here? It is true, John.
Yeah, and I had a bag before the game, and I got to tell you, I would vouch for that 100%.
Best popcorn, hands down. So do not send me hate mail. It's true. I'm not sure what they do. I'm not sure how they do it, but it is true, folks. Yep, that's the bald fat guy needs his snacks, and it is a pregame tradition for me. If you've been around me, you know that. Inbounds from Dunn to Sullivan to Powell. She's got a 2-on-1, drives in the lane, lost the handle on. I believe it was tipped by Krim. Out to Lance. Lance up the floor, fires it to Miller. Miller to Fessler. Fessler over to Lance. Over to Miller, down in the corner. Lance holds. Down to Houston. They work it around here. 3:45, clock rolling. Miller with it, takes a bounce. Walks right to the hole, puts it up. You got it. And a foul. That one on Phelps. Folks, if you're not used to me for the Central-Southeastern folks, yep, that's my daughter. And I always say, we'll talk about that one after the game. Free throw by Lance, short, and Dunn down with the rebound. 21-11, the lead is 10. It's varied between about 7 to 10 points for most of this first half. And the pass, far side to Venonic, over to Powell. Powell wings it cross court to Venonic. Venonic holds, lobs it out for Sullivan. Pass nearly poked away. Now is by Lance. She's got Miller on the run, bumps Powell out of her way and says, I got it. 23-11, largest this lead's been as we count down to 3 minutes left to go. First half, Sullivan breaking the pressure. Kind of lost the handle on it, was looking up, was trying to get it to Grace Venonic, and just, that's one of those, again, John, you got to get that internal throttle. You can be running fast, but you've got to get that mental and internal throttle slowed down.
Yeah, and we've seen Central-Southeastern come up with a lot more pressure here late in the second quarter. Starting to apply that pressure into the backcourt. We didn't see that much in the first quarter, but again, it's really made West Prairie play at a pace that maybe they're not really comfortable with. And when West Prairie has been able to get things slowed down, the offense hasn't looked terrible. So definitely just one of the changes that Coach Matt Long has made in this game so far that seems to be positively impacting the Panthers.
Miller going to put a 3 on the way. That is short off the rim, and Dunn pulls it down off to Sullivan. Sullivan up the near side. Comes into Powell and pulled out of there by Peters. Peters on the run. Gathers, waits for Fessler to come to her, over to Lance, and Lance will set offense here. And Central-Southeastern, that's the way Matt Long has always been. Very precision, really tough defense. Offense is kind of come and gone, depending on who makes it up. They bring it in out to Peters. Peters tries 3. It's a little long. And the rebound, Miller had it for a moment. Jump ball as Lindsey Dunn tied her up. It'll stay with the Panthers. Abby McMillan in. As Miller will take a seat. And now McMillan out to Lance. Take a bounce, get a pick from Krim. Out for Fessler, over for McMillan. McMillan waits, holds. Over to Lance. Lance in the lane to Krim. Kick out to Peters. 3 is on the way. No good. And Grace Venonic, 3. Honestly, defensively, the Cyclones have really not played that bad, John. It's just the turnovers.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Cyclones are really locking it in on the defensive end. They're limiting the opportunities, and the rebounding really has been pretty good for the Cyclones. as I believe they're going to whistle Venonic for a travel before the shot. It was a nifty move to the basket, just got that extra step in there.
Yep, the dance move, we got it through there, and I got to give credit to my own daughter as due because she gets mad if I don't. The tip on the rebound to Dunn. Worked out there. Minute 20. Clock rolling here. 23-11 lead for the Panthers. Down in the corner, Krim. Out to Fessler, watching Peters wheel it through, coming out to Lance, holds weights. Up top for Lance. Lance over to Krim. Down on the near side, almost threw it over McMillan, which I've seen her jump. That's hard. Peters to Lance. In the lane, has it nearly taken away by Lauren Bell into the ball game. And the Panthers work it down to a minute left. They may be working for one to Fessler. Out to Peters, a bounce, cross court to the near side, down on the baseline. Watching McMillan cut through his Krim, up to Peters, swinging to Fessler. Holds to Lance, she'll take the three, it is good. A lancing blow makes it 26-11. With 30 seconds left in this first half, Sullivan dribbling, nearly lost it. Now gets tied up, and possession will stay with the Cyclones. And Cyclones, Sullivan will bring it inbounds. Sullivan looks in, waits, bounces down. Venonic wide open 17-footer, bounces home and in. These Southeastern rims tend to be a little friendly that way. So it's 26-13. Right back comes Central-Southeastern. Peters traveled. Miller's going to come right back in. They're going to pressure. Krim and Fessler go out. Claire Houston. That is right. I got to keep checking, but it's the right Houston. It's Claire. Sullivan looking for the inbound. Wait. Close to a 5 into Powell, who lost it off her. Oh, tipped out of bounds by Miller. Sullivan will bring it in from the corner this time. Bouncing in. Venonic, lucky she got it. To Bell. Bell puts up the three. It is no good, and it goes out of bounds. 7.1 seconds left to go here. Lance just letting it run in front of her. Now gets it with 5 with 4. Dribbling on Sullivan, wanting to come near side to the baseline into Miller. No good. And that's the first half of play, 26-13. The lead here for the Central-Southeastern Panthers. You are watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
All right, welcome back here. I'm with Dr. Ed Card from MDH. And Dr. Card, you're a face that a lot of people throughout Macomb, I've worked in Macomb and media for a long time, so I've heard your name, seen advertisements with your name and picture in it for, we're not going to talk about how long, but it's been a while, okay? You're quote-unquote retiring, sort of, but you're the chief medical officer still.
True. I am no longer doing surgery. I'm no longer doing clinical medicine. I have 2 very good partners coming in who are going to be taking over the clinical side of things. And I want to be there for them to help them with the transition into private practice and so just provide some support. They don't need a whole lot of support, but for what they do need, I want to be there. And then I'm transitioning into full-time administrative position as the chief medical officer, which puts me in charge of the quality program, the patient safety program, and the med staff office, as well as utilization management. And those are all areas that we've been working on in the past. And I've been chief medical officer for 2 years, but now I can devote a lot more time, a lot more energy to improving those programs, and by extension then improving the quality and safety of care at our hospital.
I feel like that seeing you, as many years as you put in at MDH, and being willing and able to stick around after you're done doing surgery, you're done doing your clinical hours, you're willing to stay here. To me, that must mean that you feel like MDH is on the right track and doing things the way you want it to be done, right?
I thoroughly believe that. I think we're in a better place now, clinically, administratively, and with the new surgeons, I think we're in a better place than we've been in all the time that I've been here. And while we've tried not to mention it, it's only been 38 years.
So you have a few things up your sleeve that you can, the new guys and girls and whoever might come after you while you're still here, you've got a few tricks you can probably teach them, right?
You pick up a couple of things in that long period of time of doing surgery. And when I started, I did a lot of vascular surgery, but most of that now is done by cardiology and radiology. So that has sort of faded, but we're doing a lot more laparoscopic things. Dr. Peck is actually trained in laparoscopy, took a fellowship. Dr. White is very, very good, and I think the two of them together, both women, but I think that they're going to be incredible. I really think they're going to be very, very good. And the strengths of one balance off the other areas for the other. It's really a very nice synergistic pairing of those two who are both very, very good.
And I would imagine that your license obviously is still going to be valid, so if it gets into a pinch and they call Dr. Card and say, hey, we need something right now, you're probably still here and able to do that?
I've been known to answer that. Yeah, no, I'm still around and available if there are questions or problems or things, people need an extra pair of hands in the operating room or run into something they haven't seen before. I'm still going to be around for that, and in fact, helped with an operation this morning. So I think that's going to be a nice transition for me because I don't have to just stop being in the operating room, and hopefully helpful for Dr. Peck and Dr. White as well.
I would imagine after 38 years, just stopping something would be like stopping cigarettes, right? It'd be really hard to do.
Oh, no.
No? Oh.
It's not being on call is pretty okay. I'm enjoying that. So that is not a difficult transition at all. Came to town when I was 29 years old and have been doing surgery here all that time. And you sort of go through phases. There's the scared phase when you're first starting. Then there's the I can't believe how exciting and fun this is. And I've moved into the third phase, which is this really is work. So I think it's time for me to move to other things and certainly not compete for patients with our two new surgeons.
Well, I can speak for most of the people, I think, in Macomb and McDonough County. We're happy you're still around. Thank you for everything you've done through the years. I think that you've probably become a Macomb homie after spending over half your life here anyway, right?
Pretty close. I still can't trace back people's ancestry 3 generations like everybody else in town can. So I'm not a true Macombite yet. But the other side of that is that the community has been incredibly kind to me through the course of my career, entrusting me with their care and with their health. And I'm very grateful to the community for that as well. It's not been a one-way street at all.
Well, I'm Dwayne Hulett. This has been Dr. Ed Card. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with some more sports right after this.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today. and make your voice heard.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH, they're all good. You get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and make care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
And welcome back, everybody. It's John Burton here, so we're waiting for Gray to come back from the restroom. I see him walking his way back here now. Go ahead and read through some of the live comments. We got Beth Crimmin here saying thank you for streaming so the whole CSE family can watch. Thank you, Beth, for watching us alongside us tonight. And then we have Troy Whiskerton. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. Says thank you for streaming. Thank you, Troy, for giving us a watch here tonight. As one Mr. Greg Phelps has made his return back under the headset.
Talking to my brother and some old friends, and also my mother up there in the stands. And if you've seen my mother, you know why the Phelpses have no size. Exactly why. And Lisa, your mom knows my family, of course. Some good old friends and relatives up there. 26-13 as we get the second half underway. Let's give the starting lineups here. It is Brylan Lance, Abby McMillan, joined by Tori Fessler. Also into the ball game is Lauren Miller and also Parker Krim. Fessler working it down into the corner to Lance. Into Krim, she'll turn, fade away, no good. Miller there with the rebound out to Lance. We'll get West Prairie when they go the other way. Fessler down, nice bounce pass to Krim. And Hood thought she didn't go inside, but she jumped sideways, and that's going to get you every time. You got to turn, go straight up, and right into them, and that's what happens every time. Krim at the free throw line. It is no good. As the third on Maddie Hood. As Krim trying to open it up. And makes the lead 14. Cyclones are bringing it inbounds. Fessler right up on the ball on the pressure. Man-on-man pressure here. As Sullivan tried to loop it into Dunn, and Krim knocks it out of bounds. And those are ones you got to keep coming to it. Sullivan looking. And into Hood. Hood holds it, wings it to Vanonic, who starts up and works on Lance up the court, picks up her dribble, comes to Sullivan. Sullivan down for Dunn. Dunn back out to Vanonic. Vanonic fakes, looks to dribble. Dribbles right into Lance, nearly into Miller. And a foul called. It is Grace Vanonic, Lindsey Dunn, Madeline Sullivan, Maddie Hood, and Lauren Powell on the floor for the Cyclones. 27-13, largest lead for Central-Southeastern. And we do want to thank our fine sponsors like the Community News Brief for all your local news as Sullivan wings it in, gets it to Venonic and flips it up. And I wish I could talk to Evan because I would have him put the camera on Matt Long as Krim goes in, gets the bucket and the foul on Lindsey Dunn. You and I got a ringside seat to that. Matt Long was not happy with that last sequence.
No, and we've seen that a couple times here tonight. Sullivan just along the sideline, inbounding the ball. I think she tried to pass fake it, lost control of it, and then just kind of underhanded it, threw it in, and it resulted in points for the Cyclones. Of course, if you're Matt Long, you cannot be happy about that.
And 5-second violation on the Cyclones. As Sullivan could not get it in. Now it'll be Miller triggering in for Central-Southeastern. As I mentioned, Community News Brief mailed directly to your home every Friday. Inbounds of 3 for Lance is good. And so the can has been opened, 33-15, 18-point lead here. Powell up with it. Picked up her dribble, tried to throw it in the lane. Lance with a steal. She's got Miller up ahead. Bounce in the lane and good. Now it's up to 20 as they have really busted this open. Venonic with it, over to Sullivan. Sullivan tried to get it down to Hood, taken away by Krim. And I'll finish that ad eventually, sometime. 6:25 clock rolling, third quarter. You hate to miss the action. Got to pay the bills, but you hate to miss the action. Miller with it, works the near side wing, waits, holds, comes down to Lance. Nobody came out to get her, and Cyclones got lucky there, John. She missed a wide open three. I would not do that often.
No, and we've seen Central-Southeastern struggle a little bit from behind the line. They've definitely been pumping them up, just not be able to convert, especially in that first half.
That would be called volume scoring, or the law of averages. Timeout called by Grant Bland. We'll thank some of our very fine sponsors, again, like the Community News Brief. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. You can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're age 65 or older. You can also buy copies at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in today's world. MTC Communication offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video camera, and phone systems in the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas, and is expanding quickly. Visit mtc.crownfiber.com to check your availability. Good Hope Gardens, located at 445 East Main Street, Good Hope, open April through October for all your fresh produce needs. Follow their Facebook page for daily updates. They are preparing for the 2023 growing season now. Grover and Mary Jo DeCounter and family invite you to Good Hope Gardens. Come see where it is grown. Some of our very fine sponsors. Folks, if you could do me a favor, please, 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 please say thank you to our very fine sponsors of our broadcasts here as they help us along. As Lauren Powell looking to trigger it into Sullivan, over to Venonic. She'll toe up the three, rattled out. Fessler snaps up the board, and they'll push the action. 5:55 left to go here in the third quarter. And John, Central-Southeastern, I sense a lot more aggressiveness in this half.
Yeah, definitely have come out of the halftime break. As you mentioned, more aggressive there as we see the drive from Parker Krim. Getting the and one opportunity. That's just one of those things, attacking that closeout along the baseline, getting inside, getting into the paint, and converting those layups.
And you can see, again, the Krim of the crop as she drops that in. Parker Krim, the free throw is good to make it 38-15. And the lob, they tried to throw it long to Powell, couldn't get it, and Hood and McMillan collided back to Powell. She'll lay it up and lay it in. It all looks the same in the stat sheet there, 38-17, the lead 21. Lance out to McMillan. She'll shoot the three, a little short. Krim with the rebound, loops it into Lance. And now over to Miller. Miller holds above her head, swings to Lance up top. Out for McMillan, down to Krim. Krim in the lane, Fessler, back to Krim. Oh, bouncing across the lane to Miller. Up and no good, but Venonic or Hood picked up the foul. And we'll see who it is. It is on Venonic. That is her second. Maddie Hood dodging her fourth as Miller toes herself up to the free throw line. And it's good. And just again, the great ball movement, John. It's been impressive to watch here.
Yeah, a lot of great action here on the Central-Southeastern side. I really like that play when Krim passed it down to the low post player and just without hesitation, just kind of sort of that touch pass right back to her in the mid-range, and then she threw the bounce pass that resulted into free throw opportunities for Miller. I mean, it's just been working so well for the Panthers all night, just swinging the ball around and getting that zone moving.
Lance DeFessler puts it up and puts it in, makes it 41-17 as they continue to blow it open here. Sullivan to Powell. Walks it up, comes out to Venonic. Venonic holding, waiting. A fake, and you heard Matt Long yell out, ball pressure. Venonic tried to get it to Hood, couldn't get it there. And up to Fessler. Fessler has Miller up in front of her, puts it up, puts it in and good. 43-17. To Powell, who will run the other way. Panthers back off the press, but not the pressure to Hood. Nice job getting it up to her, couldn't get it to go. And the rebound tipped around, tied up on the floor. 43-17. Peters will come in. Janie Phelps and Lauren Bell will check in for West Prairie. Dunn goes out and Maddie Hood goes out, so the Cyclones go a little small. Not that they were overly tall anyway. Sullivan looking to trigger in. Out to Powell. Powell pumps the three, no good. And the rebound tip, Sullivan had it for a second. She and Lance tied up. Possession arrow says Panther basketball. And we're going to wish a good luck out there. I know the Brown County Hornets making it to 7th grade IESA tournament. We'll have 8th grade action for you on Monday. Still waiting to see the outcome of that one. Miller out to Peters rather. Peters three is no good. And she ties Sullivan up immediately on the rebound. Possession arrow say West Prairie. And was trying to check to see there was a regional final going on tonight down at Mendon Unity in 8-2A action. Powell going to walk it up as Lance meets her at half court, and McMillan waits eagerly for Sullivan. They try to get it to Phelps. Phelps wings it back. And now up with it, it is Miller. Miller found, got the basket and good. 45-17, she'll be up at the free throw line to shoot the extra one. As John's laughing because he knows my reputation has preceded me, and I know I kind of know what would have happened if that would have been me. Free throw is good. It is a 46-17 lead here now as Miller will come out. Coming in for her is Ariel Graham.
Give another quick shout out to Bob Walker in the chat. Says thanks for the stream tonight. Shout out to the sponsors who help bring us these games.
Phelps with it in the lane, backs up and it kind of travels with it. As she'll turn it over there and it'll go back over to Central-Southeastern. And the winner tonight, it will be West Prairie versus Brown County on Monday night as Brown County the winner, 47-34. Peters in the lane, they beat Liberty. An aerial shot on the way, no good. And they're going to whistle a foul on the block out on Phelps. Graham looking to trigger. Into Peters, she'll toe up the three, no good, rebound tipped around. And Phelps able to gather it in, flips it to Bell, Bell to Sullivan. And they'll get out of there with it. Down it comes, Sullivan gets a pick from Powell. Lost it, gathered it back, needs help. Trapped in the corner, throws it up, and Fessler's got it over to Graham. Stolen away by Phelps, Phelps down the lane. They say it was a carry, wasn't much of one, although I'm sort of biased. I will say I have seen worse. But I'm not going to say it because the official's close enough to me now. I could get in trouble. They'll work it. Peters will work it out top. Over it comes to Graham. Graham going to bounce it down. Now trying to work it out to Fessler. 2:35 left to go here in this third quarter into Krim. She'll put it up, miss it. Rebound batted in the air, and Bell's got it down. Out to Vanonic. Vanonic will walk it up here to Sullivan. Down to Powell. She'll hit it out of her hip pocket. Done the rebound. She'll wheel it back out, and you heard Long yell, no block out. They're going to whistle a jump ball. Possession arrow will go over to Central-Southeastern. Tori Fessler comes out. And coming in for Central-Southeastern, Agnes Ginnenbacher, one of those that were in the JV game. 46-19, 29-point lead here. 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. McMillan holds and waits. Cross courts it for Graham. Couple bounces down, waits. Holds, coming out of there to Peters. Peters needs somebody, gets it to Graham, into Krim. Krim goes in, and they're going to whistle a block on Lauren Bell. She tried to get slid in front. And we'll have a couple free throws upcoming here. Gives me a chance to pay the bills. Located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974, Ryden Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service, unmatched in this area. Customer service, one of their specialties. Give them a call today, 309-772-3121. Krim makes the first. And say hello to everyone at the Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar. Focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live events there at the Sports Corner at 124. All will catch in a good drink and a nice meal. One of the best in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi. 124 North Randolph, Macomb. Made the first, missed the second, 47-17. 30-point lead here for the Panthers. Powell jumped out up top. Nearly lost the handle on it, flips it to Bell. Bell trying to lob it down to Dunn, and McMillan will have none of it. Sullivan triggering on the inbounds play out to Vanonic. Thought the three. Peters made her think better of it. Gets it to Powell. Powell in the lane. Shot is up, no good, and we've got a foul. It's going to be whistled on Agnes Ginnenbacher. And I want to thank, got a lot of folks listening at home tonight. Thank you for tuning in.
First free throw from Powell is missed, the first of two opportunities.
And I know, John, senior night coming up next Tuesday for the Cyclones at home. We'll be there.
As always.
Yes, 47-18 lead. Here comes Brylan Lance up the court quickly to Graham. Graham driving in, puts it up. The aerial shot goes in and good. Chris Dewar, if you're watching, if you steal that from me, you owe me. As Vanonic dribbles down, and they're going to whistle an offensive foul as Vanonic bumped into Krim. And substitution, Maddie Hood will check back in. Lauren Powell will go out for West Prairie. As with 1:08 left to go here in this third quarter, we count it down. Lance down to the far side baseline. Wheels it across to McMillan. She'll toe the three. It is good. Three is good. Hamburgers for everybody. No, I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me. Maybe Mr. Fox will buy those for everybody. And Maddie Hood will try a three back the other way. That one catching the top of the backboard. 52-18. Here comes Lance. And double dribbled as she was trying to loop it up to Agnes Ginnenbacher. Janie Phelps will come back in. Claire Houston in as well. Grace Vanonic goes out. And somebody's got to come help Madeline Sullivan with the basketball. As Sullivan will bring it across the timeline. 30 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Sullivan fakes the screen from Dunn, drives down the lane, tries to get it out to Bell, and she has it picked away by Krim. In the lane they go, and shot up no good. Out of there with it comes Agnes Ginnenbacher. They work it around here. Sullivan a near pick. And a collision there in half court. Lance comes out of there with it. Over to Graham. Her shot long, no good. Rebound batted in the air by Houston. And we've got a foul on, I believe, Genenbacher or Houston come over the top of Lauren Bell. Sullivan will bring it inbounds to Phelps. 5.2 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Off to Sullivan. Sullivan with 2 with 1. Pops the 3. No good at the end of 3 quarters of play. 52-18 lead for Central Southeastern right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
And we are back here, and glad to have all these listeners in here. Viewers, I always say listeners because I came from a radio background. Viewers, or as Benny Hill used to say, hello, viewers. Phelps loops it into Dunn. It is Janie Phelps, Lindsey Dunn, Lauren Bell, Madeline Sullivan, joined by Maddie Hood. And Sullivan, the right thing, threw it past Maddie Hood and out of bounds. 7:48 mark and ticking here in this quarter. Carly Long on the floor, Carly Peters, Agnes Genenbacher, Claire Houston, and Ariel Graham. Carly Peters fakes a 3, dribbles. Out to Ariel Graham, looks out, and Hood with a nice steal there. Everybody gets back on her though. Tried to fire it to Sullivan, the lane off a couple sets of hands. It will be Central Southeastern basketball. It will be the running clock for this quarter. And Peters comes up with it. Out to Houston. Houston to Peters. A dribble comes down to Graham in the corner. Graham out to, winging it over all the way to Houston on the near side. Cross court it to Graham. Graham drives lane, shoots shot. Won't go. Rebound, fighting for it. And Sullivan had it out of her hands. Carly Long to Claire Houston. Throws it right to Sullivan. Sullivan going up on Peters. Stops, pulls up, has her shot blocked. And back with it comes Peters in the lane. Shot is good. Phelps trying to bother her there. Couldn't get to her in time. I think grinned because she heard her dad say that.
Definitely cracked a little smile this direction, I have to say.
Yeah, she knew. Dad's told her many, many stories. I was a much more vicious creature back in those days. Maddie Hood, nice catch and run. Puts it up, can't get it to go as Genenbacher with the foul. What was it in the WandaVision Marvel show, Blame It on Agnes? There you go. See, I'm multifunctional, John. We bring in streaming television shows. We bring in all kinds of things on these streaming shows. Substitution for the Panthers, that is Anna Peters. Maddie Hood will put up the next one. Free throw, second one, bounces home and in. And John here for the Cyclones, I mean, it's kind of building, I guess, just getting better. That's all it is. It's just getting better is the thing they've got to concentrate on. Get positive outcomes, set a goal, come to it. Phelps wheeling around up top, comes down to Bell. Bell, couple of dribbles, go into the lane, puts it up, misses it. Rebound, Agnes Genenbacher. Out to Claire Houston. She'll bounce down, come out to Ariel Graham. Wait, hold. Up top to Houston. Over to Peters. She'll shoot the 3. It's short. Sullivan out with it. She's got runners with her. She's got a 3-on-1 if she takes it. Sullivan in the lane, loops it up, can't get it to go. Hood the rebound. And we've got a foul underneath. That is the sixth team foul on the Panthers. We'll have another substitution in a moment as Kaylee Bockhold will check in. And as I mentioned, John, this is what's scary. Tori Fressler, Abby McMillan, the only seniors. Brylan Lance, Ariel Graham, and Parker Krim are juniors. Now factor that in for a moment, and you know that a lot of them are sophomores and freshmen. That's just plain out frightening.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned Lauren Miller, only a sophomore. Definitely a heck of a volleyball player for the Camp Point team. Remember when she came to West Prairie, how impressive she looked there, and definitely one heck of a basketball player here. And again, only in her second year of high school, definitely going to be a tough team to beat here in the upcoming years.
And up to the free throw line, Lindsey Dunn, after making a nice move, gets the free throw to stick. And yeah, that's what is so scary about this Panther team. 24-3 now, and you know, things pointing up. Second one on the way. Dunn doesn't get the second to stick. Genenbacher out of there with it. Out to Houston with 3.5 left to go here in the ball game. Out to Peters. Anna Peters over to Ariel Graham. Loops it up to Houston. Out to Anna Peters. She'll put the three up. And it's stuck.
Greg, why don't you jump up there and grab it?
I usually would jump up there and grab it, but folks don't really want me to do that. And our official did a nice job of doing that. And he made the highlight reel tonight. Probably his best jump since high school. There's a comment I would make to likening it to the officiating, but I'm not going to do that. Sullivan will bring it out of there, down to Hood. Hood in the corner, dribbling far side, right up and in and good. 54-22. Back will come Houston with it, 2.5 counting in the fourth. Anna Peters holds it again. In the lane, goes to Agnes Genenbacher, back out to Peters, up to Houston. Houston, back to Anna Peters. She'll put up the three again. Did not stick it this time. And they work it out to Hood. Hood back with Houston. Drives in the lane, puts it up, missed it. Rebound, fought for. Out of there with it comes Genenbacher. And here she comes on the fast break. To pull it out to Peters again. Peters over to Bockhold. The shot in and good. And Central-Southeastern makes it 56-22. 2 minutes left to go in the game. Phelps back to Sullivan. Sullivan will bring it up. And Sullivan getting a screen, looking to bounce it down. Cross courts it for Bell. Bell puts up the shot, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Anna Peters. 1:40 and rolling here. As they will work it up. Out for Peters again. She'll take a bounce, come back up toward the top. Cross court far side, bounce into Carly Long. She'll go up and put it up and in. And we've got a substitution timeout as Taylor Phelps and Mason Shipman will come in. Madeline Sullivan and Maddie Hood go out. Janie Phelps will bring it in. She and Lauren Bell will bring it up. Phelps dribbling here. Biggest thing is be confident. Down to Shipman. Mason Shipman in the lane. Shoots shot. Won't go. Rebound pulled down by Peters. 50 seconds left. Here comes Graham. On the run here. Has a couple ahead of her. Shipman cuts her off. And Graham works it up top here. As they look down low. Looking at Long. Nope. Find Agnes Genenbacher. She'll dribble on Phelps. Kick out. And Bockhold the three. It is good. Shipman back to Phelps, who'll bring it across the timeline here. Back to Shipman. Shipman dribbling down, pulls it up, shoot, shot no good. Rebound off of two Panthers, and it will stay with West Prairie. Lauren Bell ready to trigger in here. Out to Shipman. Shipman nearly lost the handle on it. Fakes, dribbles up, down to Bell. Bell puts it up, puts it in and good. And that's going to be our ball game, folks. 61-24, the final score. as the Central-Southeastern Panthers improved to 25-3 on the season, knocking off West Prairie. John, Central-Southeastern, you definitely see why they are 25-3.
Yeah, definitely came into this one just really, I mean, they did kind of struggle a little bit there in the first half. West Prairie was able to keep it close, but coming out of halftime, they just came out, played with a lot more ferocity, picked up the pace, applied a lot more pressure, and West Prairie just wasn't able to hang with them.
Well, I would assume that Matt Long did what we call in the coaching business as resetting their philosophies for the second half, and that would be reframing their outlook as Matt Long and crew get the win here. That's going to do it for us. For John Burton, I'm Greg Phelps saying so long. Thanks for tuning us in. Thanks for turning us on.